I now yield to Mr. Hanna, who will introduce our next witness.
Hello, Mr. Flesher. How are you today? Our next witness is Mike Flesher. Mr. Flesher is president of the American Rental Association. Mike Flesher was born and raised in the southern tier of New York. I have the privilege of representing many communities there. He operates 2 Taylor Rental Centers, franchises in upstate New York, truly family-owned businesses. They provide taxes and opportunity and jobs in those communities. Last week, I had the opportunity to visit his business in Vestal, New York, to discuss the impact of taxes and his ability to hire and grow and plan. Welcome, Mr. Flesher. You have 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chairman Walsh and Ranking Member Schrader, and thank you, Representative Hanna, for that generous introduction. Mr. Chairman and members of the subcommittee, I am Mike Flesher, President of Taylor Rental in Vestal, New York, and President of the American Rental Association. I am here today to testify on the effects of the federal estate tax on small businesses. Taylor Rental is a small family-owned business with 2 locations in Vestal and Ithaca, New York. Taylor Rental is a typical rental business. We employ 16 full-time and 4 part-time employees and up to 15 seasonal employees. ARA has approximately 4,000 members in the United States, and the overwhelming majority of them are businesses just like mine. We rent equipment and tools to contractors and homeowners, and we rent party and event equipment to individuals and corporate clients. ARA supports a permanent extension of current estate tax law, which allows a $5 million per person exemption indexed for inflation and a 35% rate on the remaining assets in the estate. Current law also provides for a stepped-up basis on assets in the estate. It is critical for Congress to pass a permanent extension so that small businesses have the certainty we need to plan for the future. We are concerned about the federal estate tax reverting to the $1 million per person exemption and 55% rate that existed in 2000. My testimony shows the number of rental business locations and the economic impact of the rental industry for each state represented by a member of the Small Business Committee, illustrating how ubiquitous the equipment rental industry is throughout the United States. According to IHS Global Insight, the equipment rental industry in the U.S. will generate $31.2 billion this year and $49.8 billion by 2016. The industry is currently growing 4 times faster than the U.S. GDP. Much of this growth is from the expansion of small businesses within the industry. What does it take to generate billions of dollars in rental revenue? It takes capital, and a lot of it. Collectively, ARA members have billions of dollars invested in the equipment our customers want and need. An 80 by 160-foot tent that gives a young couple the dream wedding they always wanted cost me $60,000. Taylor Rental has hundreds of tents that range from $1,000 to $60,000 each. Other equipment like small Bobcat loaders cost $34,000, and aerial work platforms can cost $50,000 to $100,000. Larger equipment like track excavators can cost well over $150,000 per unit. Equipment rental companies make ongoing capital investments to survive and grow because customers demand the latest and best equipment. When you rent a car, you do not usually get a 1990 Buick. You get a new car with low mileage. The same is true in the equipment rental industry. My customers do not want old equipment. They want new equipment, and I must invest in that equipment to satisfy my customers. U.S. equipment rental companies are investing $10 billion in new equipment this year and almost $20 billion annually by 2015. Along with the billions invested in equipment, we own real estate and buildings that house our rental stores and equipment. Many small equipment rental businesses have substantial but illiquid assets. This is precisely why ARA is concerned about the possibility that the current estate tax law will expire on December 31st, 2012 and revert to 2000 levels. If the estate tax reverts to 2000 levels, my estate would be severely impacted. 16 good people who have given our company many years of good service may no longer have a job. The businesses that sold products and services to our company could lose a good customer. But foremost, the economic security of my family will be uncertain. Mr. Chairman, There's a lot of rhetoric about how the estate tax really only affects rich people. I do not consider myself or my family rich. For the past 43 years, I've gone to work every day to make a living. I have invested my resources in a company that has grown and been successful despite some tough times recently. My estate is my company. I do not have assets that can easily be liquidated to pay estate taxes. My company will have to be sold. Reverting to a policy that was outdated 12 years ago would, in my opinion, be a disaster for many small business owners like me, and the #1 goal that I have worked for will be in jeopardy: to provide financial security for my family. In addition, the current situation makes business planning almost impossible. We need certainty on the estate tax, and we need it now. Let me be clear. ARA would eliminate the federal estate tax. It is a tax on capital, pure and simple. However, the need for certainty on this issue has led us to a position of supporting a permanent extension of current law. We believe the current $5 million exemption with a 35% rate and stepped-up basis is a policy that will help sustain small businesses for years to come. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That concludes my statement. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.